everyone, welcome to Here We Are, Brattleboro's community talk show. I'm Wendy O'Connell. We have folks from the community coming on every week, and this week we are lucky to have Mariam Diallo. She is a student, a sophomore at BUHS, where she's active in many groups there, and she's enrolled in the Visual Performing Arts Academy in the school. Outside of BUHS, Mariam is on the Brooks Library Teen Advisory Board, and since the age of 5, she's been a member of the Brattleboro School of Dance. She's taken part in projects through Insight Photography, one of which took place right here at BCTV. Welcome, Mariam.
Hi.
Great to have you on the show.
Great to be here.
Yes. Just want to make note of your earrings, which are rubber chickens.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
They're really wonderful, and they go with your outfit really well, which is very important. Were you born in Brattleboro?
I was.
You were, so you've been here from the get-go.
Yeah.
And have been going to go K through 12 through the school. You've been liking it? You've enjoyed it?
Yeah, I really like living in Brattleboro. I actually used to live like just across from the municipal building.
Uh-huh.
So that was pretty cool, just over there.
Downtown, yes. And I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but this building used to be the high school.
Really?
Yes, the municipal building here. This is where all the kids in Brattleboro came, and it was before it was a union, so it was just the town of Brattleboro. But they were all downtown, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, just BHS.
Yes, probably.
BUHS.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it used to be called BHS because I'm in marching band, so we have to play the school song all the time.
Oh.
And our former band teacher, Mr. Rice, told us that at the end of the song, it used to be BHS forevermore, but then we changed it to BUHS.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty neat little bit of history that we got.
Yes, you had to accommodate that. And you have a new logo. You have
The Bears.
The Bears. Yes. Was that put to vote?
It was.
Really?
Yeah. It was between Bears, Badgers, and something else.
Yeah.
I think we were going to be called the Brats, which, I mean, they were all fine, but I'm glad that Bears won and not Brats.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, yes, you can be a brat forever, but you don't want to necessarily be pegged with that, right? And so you are an only child, so am I, but you have a lot of relatives.
Yeah.
And you have some here, but you have some all over the world.
Yeah, we have family in Finland, Ghana, West Africa, and here and in California. So
that's a lot.
All over.
And do you get to see them? Do you travel?
Yeah, we stay in contact. We just went to Ghana last summer, actually, for 4 weeks. So that was really cool.
Oh, wow. That's a long time. And your mother was born in Ghana?
Yeah.
She was. And was she brought up there as well? So you have some roots there, some serious roots.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? What is it like for you to go back and forth between such diverse countries?
I think people who have family from different places, like really diverse places, like across oceans even, are really lucky because you get to experience a lot more of the world. Even if you don't visit those countries often, you still get to have the experience of being brought up just in a way that might be different from people who don't, like people who don't, who haven't maybe left the country or who have family who are all from here, like with language and with food and just with culture.
That's right.
I think it's really important to have these diverse experiences.
Yes, I know. I totally agree with you. And I think one thing, I think we've been very lucky in this area to have SIT, especially, but also Marlborough College and Wyndham College and Putney School. We have a lot of people coming from different places to have their influence. That was one thing, the geography. Going to Ghana, the climate, everything about it is completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we often go around Christmas, like to see family for the holidays. And it's so interesting because, you know, December here, there's snow on the ground and it's freezing. But when you go to Ghana, December is like the hottest time of year.
Yeah.
So it's like 90 degrees every day, which is quite an adjustment. But at least you can like wear short sleeves a lot.
Right. Have you done that more than once, going there during the winter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think that it would be, it would be such a shift in so many ways, and your body acclimating as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do you have any of the language?
I speak a little bit of Tree, which is one of the languages that's spoken in Ghana. So that's pretty cool.
So there are many languages in Ghana.
Yeah.
And are they dialects or actual different languages?
There are different languages, and then there are dialects of those languages. There's a lot.
Could you get by when you were there?
Yeah, I could, yeah. I understand it better than I speak it, and I think that's the case for a lot of kids who are brought up bilingual. But yeah.
Do you have friends that are bilingual?
Yeah.
From different countries?
Yeah. So it's cool. That's something I can relate to them with.
Yes, right.
So that's pretty neat.
Yeah. Do you take languages at school?
Yeah, at school, I don't right now, but there are a bunch of different language classes like Spanish and German and French and Chinese.
Yeah. But it's not a requirement?
And Latin. It is a requirement that you take, I think, at least 1 or 2 years of a language at BUHS to graduate. So that's pretty neat. I think it's an important thing to at least know for a little while.
Yes, yeah. And also the thinking is different when you know a different language. You know, it's sometimes the sentence patterns are different enough so that it makes you think in a different way and write sometimes in a different way as well. The academic strands that you have going on at BUHS, I don't know how new that is, but it was really interesting to me. There are 3 different ones.
That I know of, yeah.
Yeah.
There's the Visual and Performing Arts Academy, which I'm in, the International Studies Academy, and the STEM Academy. And it's basically just you apply in 8th or 9th grade, and it's a separate advisory or a separate homeroom, all with kids who are interested in that sort of academic direction. And then basically there are required classes you take that have to do with your strand that you take to stay in your academy. So if you're in the Visual and Performing Arts Academy for instrumental music, then you have to take some music electives, music theory class, and you get to go on fun music field trips, like to shows and concerts and things.
And so each of those disciplines has different things that they do. But you also have to come up with, you have to have a portfolio, you have to have some connection with professionals in that, and then you have to do a capstone project too, I think.
You don't have to have connections with people who are already in the industry. If it's more important to have a portfolio if you're doing like visual art, like painting or sculpting. But you have to have 2 letters of recommendation, and then when you're a senior, you do a capstone project.
Yeah, I was surprised. It looks pretty rigorous. I looked at the application online, and you have to come up with a lot of different things on that application to get in.
Yeah.
Is this your first year doing that? It is. Are you enjoying it?
I am. It's actually, I was really stressed when I was applying because I was like, oh gosh, what if I don't get in? But it's really chill. The advisors are nice. There's 3 different advisors, one for like each strand that's in the VPA. Sort of. And so it was just really cool. It's really cool to hang out with people who like art too.
Yes.
And you all get to go and enjoy art together on like the level of somebody who sees themselves as an artist, which is different than somebody who just consumes art. Right.
And different from just studying it as well.
Yeah.
You also, though, have to continue your regular academic.
Yeah.
And you have to, I think, stay at a certain percentage.
Yeah. Like you have to have a certain grades.
Yeah.
And you have to do all of your electives and things aside from also other required courses to graduate.
Being at the high school, because you had a couple pandemic years in there,
Yeah.
which was mostly your middle school years, right? I don't want to give you just a general question of what it was like, but what do you take away from that time?
From being in middle school during the pandemic's like peak. I mean, I guess I have to think about it. I think it's just that, like, anything can be, like, I think people are really adaptable is something that you take away from that time, because it was just really cool to see how determined people were to still, you know, have us go to school, even though everything was so uncertain. I did hybrid school, actually. So you'd go to school on 2 days of the week, and then the rest would be remote.
Right. And how was that for you socially?
It was interesting. There's, when we turned to all in person, I was kind of like shocked to see like how many people actually went to my school, because a lot of kids did like fully remote school, and I did only a few people really comparatively did hybrid school. So in 8th grade, when we were all in person with masks on, I was like, I don't know half these people. So that was really cool though, to just, you know, meet new people. It was like kind of like going to another new school that year, just because of how different it was.
Did you have any friends who had problems during that time, sort of falling through cracks and not having good support?
I don't know. I mean, I know it was definitely tough for me sometimes, just like having to adjust to not being in that in like a school environment, and not having like academic support like with you all the time. So I imagine that happened for a lot of other people too. So yeah.
Yes, it was a time, wasn't it?
It definitely was.
In addition to all of the academic things that you're doing, music plays a really big part in your life. You're in marching band, you play the clarinet, you do a lot of singing.
I've always really liked music. So when I found out, I did 1 year of just normal high school before I applied to be in the VPA, because I just wanted to get a feel for it and see if I thought I could, you know, do it aside from all my other stuff. And then I did apply, because when I learned that that was like an option, I was like, wow, that seems really cool, you know, another way to have music in my life, like on a regular basis. I was like, yeah, sign me up. So that's cool. And being part of the vocal music strand in the VPA means that you get to, or you have to, but you also get to apply and audition for every festival and every like larger ensemble that comes around. So there's like the New England Music Festival, 2 district festivals, and then Vermont All-State Festival.
Wow.
And there's All Eastern, which is really competitive, and it's like, I don't know, all of New England, like a lot of different states, like Pennsylvania, Vermont, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, etc.
And so that's the kind of thing that you can audition for? You think you'll do it?
Yeah, I did it last year.
You did?
I did most of all the festivals last year, except for All Eastern, and I got in, so that was really cool to all of them. So I'm hoping to do that again this year.
That's pretty great. And you play the clarinet. Do you like marching band?
I do. It's really fun. The costumes, I think they're kind of goofy, some people say, but I unironically think they're pretty fun. They're pretty fun. Although often I have trouble fitting my hair in the hat that we have to wear. But, you know, I'm used to it.
You're getting used to it, And so the marching bands are like for the different parades in town. Is there competition with those as well?
There is. BUHS doesn't do marching band competitions anymore, or at least we haven't in a while. But I know that in 2008, BUHS performed at the inaugural parade when President Obama was. So that was really cool.
That would have been very cool, right? Yes.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about that.
I forgot about that. That's cool. You did a little bit of theater somewhere in here?
Yeah. At NUIT, when I was younger, I did a couple programs there, which was super fun, like the melodrama camps, for instance. And then when I was really young, I also did the Brave Young Vaudevillians camp, so that was fun.
That's a whole different kind of theater, right? Yeah. I'm beginning to think that there isn't anything you haven't done.
I haven't done a lot of sports. I haven't done a lot of sports.
I won't ask any questions about sports then.
I played lacrosse for 1 year.
Yep.
I was not very good, but it's the effort that counts.
That's
so.
right. You tried it.
I
That's what's important.
tried.
It's like eating broccoli, right, on your plate. And so you're also on the Brooks Library Teen Advisory Board, and you're still active with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do?
They organize teen events, and also they are just they preside over the teen, like the YA room. So they figure out what displays we're going to be having each month, and
great.
they order new books.
Yeah.
And they organize events like movie nights and game nights and workshops and whatnot.
I just think it's brilliant to have teen advisory boards.
Yeah.
It would be great if it was a little bit more widespread, I think, throughout town.
I think so too, yeah.
What do you think about that in general, Mariam, teens' voices being heard in town?
I think we need more of it, because I think if you're making decisions that affect a large group of people, then it only makes sense that that group of people should have some input on what's going to be happening to them. So I think having, the public in general, but especially young people's voices and their input is really valuable.
And in addition to all of these things that you're doing, where would you, is there a place where you would like to plug in that kind of capacity? In town? Oh, like the select board or different businesses? I
know the select board, I think, is trying to get more youth voices recently, right? So that's really cool. I think, in general, I know that the Brattleboro Area Youth Council is working on a shared power in schools sort of thing initiative. So trying to figure out how students can have more input on stuff that happens in school. So they're working on that.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I think that's happening more and more. It's percolating. I wanted to mention this, that I just found out about this as well, that in 2021, Brattleboro was the 3rd community in the country to be certified as a quality youth development community.
Yeah.
And you have been on committees in regard to that, and that's through building a positive community. Yeah,
so back in those dark days of peak COVID era, there were a lot of Zoom meetings with Cassandra, who works at Building a Positive Community. And so she met with a couple of us, and we just talked about ways that we could make Brattleboro more friendly and welcoming, safe, I guess, for young kids and teens. And one of the benchmarks for becoming a quality youth development community is having businesses that are designated youth friendly, that teens can go in and just hang out or, buy things. Because, a lot of businesses, you're not allowed in there if you're under 18, or if you just want to hang out in there, you get kicked out or, followed around or something. So that's interesting. And so, and there's a little sticker, a little window decal in the windows of those youth-friendly businesses. And I designed that sticker. It's a little rainbow hand going like this. So that means that it's a youth-friendly business.
That's very cool. So you got to be part of it in a lot of different ways. In relation to the businesses in town, how do you decide what those businesses are? Do you go in and talk to the owners and give them your points of view? Yeah, so we, as a group, sort of thought of some businesses that we liked going to, or that we know that teens frequent a lot, like Beatniks, for instance. Right. And we thought, okay, what do they sell there? Have people had good experiences there? Where is it, I guess? Is it accessible? Right. And then you'd go in and then you'd say to the business owners, hey, this is a pretty cool place. Here's this sticker. Yeah. And I bet that they were well received. I bet it meant a lot to the businesses as well. But that's great. So that's one thing for us to keep our eyes alert to, is looking in the windows and seeing where those businesses that have been designated by you guys.
Yeah.
So Mariam, with all of these activities that you have, so many of them are about working collaboratively with other kids and or adults as well. And is that something that you are finding is important to you?
I think so, yeah. Not only because it's important for, developing a better community, but also just because it teaches me and, other people how to work as a team. It's a good skill to have, to be able to work with other people, and it's something that I think as I get older I value even more, is being able to work collaboratively. So, yeah, I think that's pretty useful.
Is there anything in school or other influences that are guiding you in that?
In working with other people?
Yeah, being a team player, basically.
I mean, I suppose, I think just experience, I suppose. Like, there's always like when your first group project in middle school or something,
right.
And there's always there's usually a bad experience, but I think just that can kind of help teach you how to get people together, how to like rally a group, how to communicate with people. Communication is really important. So I guess just growing up as someone who likes to talk to people and just in general, being able to communicate is a skill that has helped me in a lot of endeavors, just in general, working with other people.
And you're learning it a lot through experience. Did you have any mentors along the way, or teachers, that you've had in school who have helped with that?
Yeah, Cassandra, definitely at Building a Positive Community. That just whole thing is super helpful when learning to work with other people, especially when you have like common interest and a shared goal. It's really like just a really positive experience.
In your regular academics, what are you taking this year?
This year I'm taking Honors English 2, chorus and band, accelerated geometry, and health and PE, and then next semester I have diversity, equity, and social justice, I think is what the class is called, and biology.
Interesting. Yeah, so it's just so fascinating to see how different your schooling is than my schooling was. Of course, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier about how kids aren't learning cursive anymore, and for us it was actually a subject in school that we were graded on. So things have changed a lot. But to hear just the names of the different subjects that you're taking, it's not just English, math, science, history. Although everything hinges on everything else, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
When I was signing up for classes that I wanted to take in high school, in middle school, like the counselors came and they told us all of the classes that you could take, and I was like so overwhelmed. I didn't understand anything. I was like, what even is this schedule? But now it's, I got used to it. It's not as complicated as it looks, even though I thought that 8 classes was a lot. It's not really.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's, over the course of your whole school year. So it's
That's right, because
cool.
your semesters pretty much, right? Yeah. It's a lot of information you're taking in, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you tested a lot in the different classes?
There are standardized tests that we have to take.
Yeah.
But I don't have to. So throughout elementary school, starting from 3rd grade, you had to take the SBAC tests. But 10th graders don't have to do that. So that's pretty cool. I'll have to do it again when I'm a junior, but I'm not thinking about that right now.
No, you don't need to. Is that like SAT kind of class?
Kinda.
Or test, I mean?
Not really. Those are something different. There's the PSATs, the SATs, the SBACs, and then another test, a couple more tests actually. The STAR, I don't know what it stands for. that you have to take. So they're sprinkled in there.
Yes, they are. So you do have to test out for most of these classes. Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that for you?
It's pretty, I mean, it makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do okay in in all of my classes. So that's lucky for me.
Right, right. I think some people are more adept at it than others. So how about your friends? You hang out with your friends a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see them a lot because we all do a lot of the same activities. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you get to see each other outside of school as well? What kinds of things you do?
With my friends?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I was thinking the other day about, like, I don't know, in like big cities, I don't know what people do for fun, but it's just interesting. I think it speaks a lot to the culture of Brattleboro that the big teen thing to do, the big teen hangout is walk around
right.
downtown.
Right.
But, you know, we like go in the stores. A lot of times we go to beadniks because
Yep.
we all like making jewelry. I made these earrings from
Yes.
stuff I found at beadniks.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We hang out at beadniks. We go to the works and we eat and we talk.
Yeah.
We go to shows. We go to movies at the Lattice and shows at NUIT because a lot of our friends
Right.
are like do stuff at NUIT.
Right. That's right. So you can support them as well as enjoy yourself, right? Yeah. As a teen in town, how is that for you? Do you feel like there are enough places for you guys to go to? Do you feel like that you feel support being a teen in town?
I think more places would be nice. More places for us to go to hang out and have fun, and that are like even just specifically for kids, like for our age group.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
How about the Boys and Girls Club? Where does that fit in your life?
I don't. The youth council actually meets at the Boys and Girls Club, so that's pretty much the amount of time that I spend there. But I know that they have. I see posters and know they have a lot of different programs and things and lots of different activities. So that's really cool.
And they've changed the name, right? I think
the club, yeah.
The club, yeah. That's a step forward. You know, in the olden days, back I think in the 80s, it was a nightclub.
Yeah, I think I heard about that.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Anything else that you'd like to mention, being a teen who's involved in so much in the community?
I think. Well, I know I speak for a lot of people when I say that I think more support would be helpful and more voice would also be super cool. Like having a voice in decisions that are made for us and about us, and being listened to when we say that there are things that we want changed. So yeah.
Yes.
That's something.
Yes. No, that's a lot. And I think that as you've mentioned, I think that's happening more now. But it would be nice to have more stickers in those windows, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well, I will bet you that there will be a lot more, especially with you involved. So thank you, Mariam.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show, and it's really great to hear about what things are like at the high school and what things are happening. And I appreciate you taking the time to come in because I know you're a busy girl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is fun.
Thanks to all of you for joining us today and hearing what Mariam's life is like in Brattleboro and the kinds of things that she's doing, and also kind of taking a temperature of what it's like for teens in this town. I know that Gallery Walk is kind of a really great time for kids to be able to roam the town and get to know the different people and see all the great things that are happening.
Definitely.
So, yes, stay tuned to Mariam and her friends and the high school, and we'll be back next week with someone new. Thank you so much.